Welcome to May's edition of Amy Reads. The first book that I finished this month was Shadowcast by Crystal Grant. It's the first of a trilogy about a world, basic, good and evil, and a gateway in between, and people with special skills. I really enjoyed this book. I haven't read the others yet, but I'm giving this 4 stars. The next book I finished this month was An Appalachian Song, which was the story of a midwife and a famous singer who go hunting for his past, and it's the weaving of the two stories together. I really did enjoy this book. Some of it was a little bit cliche, a little bit too easy, but yeah, I would recommend it. And I gave this one 5 stars. Definitely recommend. The next book I read was a nonfiction. It was The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. This was a really great story. I love this one. I also gave it 5 stars about Henrietta Lacks' cells that were taken from her cancerous cervix and then studied, probably still around to this day, to study drugs and cancer and all sorts of things. Yeah, absolutely fascinating read, well written. I enjoyed the audiobook very much and would 100% recommend this one. Fourth that I read this month was one from the New York Times Readers List, and that is Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. I enjoyed this book and I gave it 4 stars. There were some things that didn't quite sit with me, but I really enjoyed the story set in COVID times, but reflecting on the past and all the things that we tell ourselves that make up the life that we have now. Recommend. The book that I recommend was a book called Once a Queen, kind of set a little bit kind of like Narnia, where there's reality and another world. I wanted to enjoy this book so much, but I just really struggled with the way it was written. I actually enjoyed the author's note at the end more, which talks about, dysfunctional relationships between families and how that carries on through generations and secrets. I think there's value to it, but I gave it 3 stars. The next book that I finished this month was Let the Great World Spin. This was a story taken from many different angles. Around the time the gentleman walked between the 2 trade centers in New York City on a tightrope. It's not really about that. That's kind of the pivotal point that ties them all together, but it's a story of immigration and poverty and pain and the things that make life better and the obstacles that we can overcome. I gave this 4 stars. Definitely recommend. The next 2 books in a series I really enjoyed. It took me a little while to get into it. It was The Wonderland Trials by Sara Ella, and The Looking Glass Illusion. I gave both of these books a 4-star rating, and I really enjoyed them. It took me a little while to get into the world, but once I was into it, I was really able to enjoy it and saw lots of interesting lessons along the way about how fear controls us and reality and not reality and what makes us special. That's all for this month. Let me know what you've been reading and how you would rate it.